Welcome to the line change. In this video, we're going to be talking about "Oh Captain, My Captain." And no, we're not talking about Bo Horvat. We're talking about Quinn Hughes. We're going to go over an article that I found on Canucks Army, a very interesting article that talks about the deadline, not the trade deadline, but the Quinn Hughes deadline for extending him and his future with the Canucks. And basically, it reveals that the Quinn Hughes deadline is a lot sooner than you may realize. So let's go ahead and dive right into this. At the time of recording this, it is Monday, April 7th. This video is going to be uploaded for Tuesday. So by the time this video comes out, it'll be about a day after this article was written. So just a heads up on that. Let's dive right into it. The article headline, Canucks, the Quinn Hughes deadline is coming a lot sooner than most realize. This article written by Stefan Roget. Apologies if I mispronounce your name. This article was actually written yesterday, or Sunday, I should say. Technically, on, as I mentioned, Canucks Army, and it starts off by saying, whenever anyone talks about timelines as they pertain to the current Vancouver Canucks, all the timelines seem to center around Quinn Hughes, and with good reason. Hughes isn't just the best player on the Canucks right now, he's continued to establish himself as the best player in franchise history. I completely agree, as will most Canuck fans. The thinking goes that if the Canucks don't make the most of the best years of their best player ever, it will mean a missed opportunity of enormous proportions. And so, you get endless talk of Hughes-related timelines. Some, like this author, like to glibly, I've never heard of that word before, refer to the Quinn Hughes competitive window. But what exactly do folks mean by it? For some, it's all about the Canucks putting together the best possible team while Hughes is still at his best, a timeline based around Hughes' prime then. On that front, there's little reason to hurry the worry. At age 25, Hughes is probably technically in his prime now, but he still seems to be getting better all the time, and he definitely doesn't look like he's anywhere close to any sort of drop-off. If the only concern were the Canucks being competitive before Hughes exits his prime, there'd be no concern at all. Hughes will still be in his prime for many years to come. But what Hughes will not be for many years to come is in his prime, and still under the same contract terms to which he's currently signed. Hughes' contract, which carries an AAV of $7.85 million, covers this season and two more. The 25-26 and 26-27 campaigns. After that, he's eligible to become an unrestricted free agent. So if the window is actually limited to the amount of time that the Canucks can guarantee they'll have Hughes under contract, then that window is only truly open for the next 2 years. After that, the Canucks have no way of knowing whether or not they'll be able to re-sign Hughes. Although they do know that if he does sign, he'll come close to doubling his current salary. At the very least, they've only got 2 years of Hughes at a heavily discounted price tag with which to make the most of. But what we're here to tell you all today is that the actual window, the actual Hughes deadline, is coming a lot sooner than most realize. How soon? A little more than a year. Here's why. As of July 1st, 2026, a little less than 15 months from today, Hughes will become eligible to sign an extension, and that fact can't help but have an impact on the timeline. Let's flash forward to July 1st, 2026 right now. Imagine that the day comes to pass without Hughes having signed an extension. Well, now the fact that Hughes' contract is set to expire in a year becomes the biggest storyline of the entire 26-27 season and one of the biggest storylines in Canucks history, period. Having Hughes be a lame duck pending UFA would be among the largest distractions imaginable, and it's really, really hard to imagine the team putting together a successful campaign under that scenario. So if we're still talking about making the most of that Hughes window, the Canucks either have to get it done next year in 25-26, or they need to convince Hughes to extend over the course of that same season. And both of those goals start right now. Whether the thinking is that the team needs to put its best possible roster together for the 25-26 season so as to make the most of the last year before Hughes becomes a pending UFA, or that the team needs to put its best possible roster together for the 25-26 season so as to convince Hughes to re-sign. GM Patrick Allvin and company will really only get one offseason in which to get it done. And that offseason is the summer of 2025. So this upcoming summer. That's what we mean when we say the Hughes deadline is coming sooner than most realize. It's because if this summer isn't a successful one that moves the Canucks far closer to competitiveness than they currently are, and if said offseason doesn't translate into a much better start for the Canucks next year, everything becomes a lot more difficult, including, first and foremost, convincing Hughes to stay. In some senses, the game has already begun. That's a part of why the Canucks' late push for the playoffs could matter, even if they don't actually make the postseason. Hughes, in his captaincy, or in his capacity as captain, has already talked about having his spirits buoyed by the efforts of his teammates down the stretch, and specifically their care factor. Combine that bit of restored faith with some upgrades to the roster in the near future, and the Canucks will stand a much better chance of hitting both goals, competing in 25-26, and also being able to compete beyond that because Hughes has signed an extension. Thus, while we wouldn't ever want to say that everything is riding on a single offseason, a lot is riding on the summer of 2025 for the Canucks' front office. Even with 2 years left on his contract, and as counterintuitive as it sounds, in many ways, this is their last chance to convince Hughes to stay. Should they fail to improve upon the team, and should the 25-26 season get off to a similar start to this current 24-25 season, the Hughes window might be effectively closed already, and the deadline to make most of his prime years might have effectively passed, long before his actual contract expires. The mission to ensure that outcome doesn't come to pass starts now. So that was a very interesting article. I tip my cap to Mr. Stephen Roget. Once again, I apologize if I mispronounce your name, but great article, and man, that's really got me thinking. In terms of extending Hughes, I 100% agree with him, that they need to start looking at it this summer. And it obviously all depends on what they do in the offseason, who they bring in. And obviously it all revolves around getting that second line center. As I mentioned in that Pew Suter video, talking about that specific Patrick Allvin quote on what they need to do this offseason. Obviously they said goaltending is good, defense is good. You just need to get some offense, some forwards, obviously that second line center, maybe another winger, depending on what happens with Brock Besser. So those are some key pieces that Allvin's going to have to do this summer, and all of it is going to affect potentially Quinn Hughes and him staying or leaving in 2 years' time, or whether or not, it's going to factor into that extension talks when it comes to Quinn Hughes, which they're in this article, they're saying could start a year from now. So basically July 2026 is when they can offer Quinn Hughes an extension, and they're going to want to do it then and not do it during the season. Obviously, they're going to want to get it done as soon as possible. So yeah, I found this article to be extremely interesting. I'll leave a link to the article in the description down below. You guys can check it out for yourselves as well. But yeah, I thought there's once again, very interesting article. Really puts things into perspective when it comes to Quinn Hughes and his future with the Vancouver Canucks. Deep down in my heart of hearts, obviously, not only do I want Quinn Hughes to re-sign with the Canucks, but deep down, I also think Quinn Hughes will re-sign with the Vancouver Canucks, and will be a part of this organization for years to come. So that's going to do it for this video. A little shorter than normal. Once again, as I mentioned, I'm pre-recording this technically, a day before it gets published. So let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below, what you guys think about this article. Do you guys think, after reading this, that the Canucks will maybe do what Steven is referring to, maybe try and extend him as of July 2026 and maybe start the negotiations then? And do you think they'll have that mindset when they go into this offseason on, it's essentially Operation re-sign Quinn Hughes, make Quinn Hughes happy, and that's how they operate in the offseason? But yeah, let me know once again in the comment section down below. And if you like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're not subscribed to The Line Change and want to keep up to date on all your Canucks and NHL news, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Become a Patreon member. The link to that is in the description down below. You get exclusive perks by signing up for our Patreon. Also, join our Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The link to that is also in the description down below. Also, we have our online store in the description down below as well. Go ahead and check that out if you're looking for some Line Change branded merchandise, shirts, hoodies, coffee mugs, travel mugs as well, phone cases, and jackets. We have all those on our online site. And yeah, so once again, if you guys like this video, go ahead and hit that like button. If you're looking for us on social media, you can find us on Instagram at The Line Change, on X at Line Change Van, on our Facebook, just search The Line Change. You can also find us on TikTok at the.line.change.po, and I'll see you guys in the next video.